Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, bringing you the last of my Week 11 picks and predictions for this college football Saturday. It's Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Try to wait it out as long as I could for injury reports. And I've got three games on tap for you in this video. So if you're new to the channel, I track my ATS standings in the top left so you can know if I'm legit or not. 18 and 15 on the season. Kind of cooled off the last couple weeks, so we're hoping to turn that around this weekend. We're going to start off with Clemson, 6-point favorite against Virginia Tech. Clemson opened at 6.5, so there was a little bit of money sliding in on Virginia Tech. They're at home in Blacksburg. That could have been part of it. When you're looking at Virginia Tech, take a look at their last three. They pounded Boston College. They beat a Georgia Tech team without their quarterback, so that was kind of like a gimme win. And then they lose to Syracuse 38-31 last Saturday in a game that the coach for Virginia Tech, Brent Pry, did not announce that the starting quarterback, Kyron Jones, and their star running back, Basil Tootin, were out for the game until about 10 minutes before kickoff. I've talked about it before. I talked about it a lot. I can't stand how college football does the injury reports. It should follow the same method that the NFL follows. 'Cause then you have things like that. Brent Pry in that game, I guess he wanted the wait till right before kickoff to kind of fool the Syracuse coaches, and it didn't work because you lost the game, so that was pointless. In that game, it showed a few things. One, Virginia Tech does have some backup running backs with a little bit of talent because some guy they were still able to run the ball on the ground. And two, it exposed the Virginia Tech defense for kind of what they've looked like this season as just okay. They're just an okay defense. Brent Price specialty, and they just really haven't been able to tackle well or cover well, or they have breakdowns either against the run or against the pass this season. When you're looking at Clemson, Clemson's been cruising along this season, crushing Wake Forest, UVA, them pounding some other teams earlier in the season, and then they get a weird loss at home to kind of a middle of the pack Louisville team, lost 33-21 in a game that Louisville just dominated throughout. I don't know what was going on in that game. Clemson had to score a few touchdowns very late in the game to even make that score look respectable. So for me, teams kind of have that. They just lay an egg. That might have been a game that Clemson just kind of laid an egg against a Louisville team that was able to run all over them. Clemson has had some issues against the ground attack, but they're usually up so big that it hasn't really mattered. So you could say that Louisville maybe they exposed something in the Clemson team as well. Now, when I'm looking at this game, though, the breakdown between these two, you're looking at a Clemson rush offense ranked 23rd. You're just looking at Virginia Tech rush offense ranked 27th. I'm going to this game assuming that Kyron Jones and Basil Tootin are playing. Both have been ruled questionable game time decisions. So we're going to see. And I can't wait till 3:30 at kickoff, right? So if they're both playing and you got Clemson with Phil Maffa and Cade Klubnik, who has mobility as well, against two run defenses that I will say maybe average, about average at best, both teams should be able to run the ball in this game. So now it's going to come down to who can pass the ball. Now, Cade Klubnik can pass the ball. He's probably well, say Cam Ward is the top quarterback in the ACC this season, but Cade Klubnik is right up there at number two for sure. Virginia Tech and Kyron Jones haven't really passed the ball effectively all year. This is a running team. They really rely on Basil Tootin hitting a lot of big plays on the ground, some timely scrambles, and designed run plays by Kyron Jones to be able to move the ball. So for Virginia Tech, playing at home in Blacksburg can be a tough place to play at night. This is a 3:30 kickoff. So you're going to need Virginia Tech to do something out of the ordinary, I think, to be able to pull off this upset. And out of the ordinary for Virginia Tech would be able to pass the ball all over Clemson. And I don't think you're going to see that in this game. So I think that Clemson is going to go into Blacksburg. It's not a night game. I don't think it's going to be as tough of an environment for them to play in. And I think they're going in there and they're going to cover the six. So give me Clemson. I'm going to lay the six. Next game, another ACC, semi ACC matchup, right? You got Florida State of the ACC visiting Notre Dame. Notre Dame, a 25-point favorite in this game. Opened at 26. Most folks must have, or a lot of folks out there must have been thinking that's too big of a number. Bet it down to 25. Florida State in their last three lost a 23-16 game to Duke. And prior to that, you saw Florida State have competitive games, just losing. Losing these games. Defense, some people might not know this, but Florida State has actually played really well defensively in the red zone. They haven't played well anywhere else, but in the red zone, they've been able to hold teams to field goals. The problem is their offense has never been able to give them the balance they need for what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. And you see it. Miami game, they scored 14. UNC, they scored 11. Florida State still is the only team in college football not to score over 21 points this season. And they've only scored over 20, so 21 in the opener against Georgia Tech once. They haven't done it since. Going against a Notre Dame team that is just cruising, crush Stanford, crush Georgia Tech, crush Navy. Notre Dame is a pretty easy team to figure out. They play outstanding defense, both against the run and the pass, dominate the line of scrimmage because they can run the ball really well, and they have a mediocre to below average, we'll call it, passing game with Riley Leonard and those receivers. I think Riley Leonard is a good QB, not some NFL prospect type, but a good QB. But I don't think the receivers on the outside are that explosive, and I think that's what holds back this Notre Dame offense. But the running game right now is an absolute machine, and with Riley Leonard really doing it on with his legs as well. So now you're going against. So you're saying this Notre Dame rush offense, 13th in the country, as you see here, against Florida State's run defense, 114th. Then on the other side of the line of scrimmage, Florida State's run offense is 131st, they're second to last in America against Notre Dame, who averages allowing 3.5 yards per carry. For me, it's going to be Notre Dame dominating the line of scrimmage game at home. I believe this is a night game in South Bend. At home, they're going to dominate for 4 quarters, I think, the line of scrimmage. The only fear I have in this game is a backdoor cover, but I'm definitely taking Notre Dame lane to 25 as Florida State can't score. It's pretty obvious. And Notre Dame has a potential in this game to hold Florida State to 7 or less in this one. So Notre Dame, we're going to lay the 25, big number, so we got to be careful with that. And that was yesterday. I did the two big SEC football showdowns, and I said they were going to be the only two SEC games I was going to do this weekend. Got the breaking news that Missouri's starting quarterback Brady Cook was going to be out for this game, and that's what made me want to do a video for the OU Missouri game. So with that news, OU became the favorite in this game as a 3-point favorite. I believe before the injury was announced or that he was ruled out, I believe Missouri was a 3-point favorite, but it's neither here nor there. So Oklahoma, they have had injury issues throughout the season at wide receiver. They have no weapons to throw to, and it's really just really hurt their offense. They don't have a legit running back on their or a legit top caliber running back on their roster. They're going with Javante Barnes. Oh, they've gone with him all season, and he's not. He's just plugs along. I guess you could say is the best way to say it, right? They've gone back to Jackson Arnold at the quarterback position. Smart move, in my opinion. He's a better thrower than Michael Hawkins is, but he's not really that good at throwing the football. You got that matchup against a Missouri pass defense that ranks 10th in the country. That's a tough matchup for Jackson Arnold to have some success through the air in this one. I've already spoke about Javante Barnes on the ground. Now, he had a good game last week against Maine, but Maine, they won 59-14, but you can't really count that game, right? Missouri, in their last game, they lose 34-0 in a game that Brady Cook got hurt in, got pounded by Alabama. And why they lose 34? Well, I'm not going to say why they lost 34-0, but the reason they weren't able to score, Brady Cook goes down. They put in Drew Pine. Now, if you don't follow college football, Drew Pine began his career at Notre Dame. He was not that guy there. It was pretty clear. It has a very low talent ceiling on him. Transfer to Arizona State, not that guy at Arizona State. Transfers to Missouri, I didn't even realize he was still in college football till last week when he got into the game. I couldn't believe Drew Pine is your backup quarterback at Missouri. You can say that Drew Pine has seen a lot of college football, so you're like, oh, he should be able to execute the offense and so forth, right? But college football has seen a lot of Drew Pine. He is not that guy. And one thing OU has that resembles Alabama is a tough front seven. I think Drew Pine is going to be under all sorts of duress in this game. I do not. You have to throw out the stats, Missouri's offensive stats, because that's with Brady Cook. With Drew Pine, it's going to be completely different. I don't see Missouri doing much on offense in this game. Give me Oklahoma. I'm taking a risk here because they've been poor this season, right? But give me Oklahoma on the road. I'm going to lay the 3. So anyways, that wraps it up. So that is 3 games from this video to go along with the 3 games I've already done, which was Colorado, laid the 2.5, Georgia, laid the 2.5, and LSU, actually, they were all 2.5, right? So Georgia, Colorado, and Alabama, I laid the 2.5 in all 3 of those games. So 6 games total on tap for you this college football weekend. If you like the content, please like, follow, subscribe, all of that. As you're going to see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Take care.